no one ever sees you coming, do they, Bob?
Oh,
Yeah.
you went with the final line. That's gangster. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to Chilli Penguin. I am Du.
Hello. I am Limo.
Today we're gonna be looking at the drop. Dun, dun, dun.
Bro, I don't know how I missed this film. Like I would like to think I was smart back in 2014, but I don't know how I missed this film.
I watched this film in varsity, so everybody missed the film.
Bro, this film is good.
2014, that was Matric. What were we watching in Matric? Fast and
I don't
Furious.
know.
We were watching Fast and Furious, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Dominic Toretto, you don't know
Bro,
me.
like
You're
my
about to.
thing is, wait, is that in the film?
Yes, Fast.
Which one?
The one with Jason Statham at the end credits.
Oh yeah. Bro, there's been so many. Like, it's just a blur to me right now.
Yep.
My thing is, I remember during that time, I was in my gangster film phase. So how did I miss this?
What? You had a
How
gangster
did I
film
miss this?
phase? How did
Bruh.
your skinny, scrawny ass had a gangster? Who?
Shut up.
What kind of
Shut
gangster
up.
were you trying to be?
No, not trying to be a gangster. I had a gangster movie phase.
And
Like, I was just watching
and
gangster movies.
You were identifying with the gangsters? Hell, get out of here.
Shut up.
You don't want to look. Oh yeah, I can see myself in that old Italian guy. No way.
They're talking to me right here. That's me right there. That's the life that I live.
That's literally me. So, the drop came out in 2014. Written by Dennis Lehane. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I was about to say, how do you pronounce that dude's name?
Lehane.
I'm not gonna argue.
I'm going with a Lehane. Dennis. Or is it Denis? Like Denis Villeneuve. And directed by Michaël R. Roskam. These people have awesome names.
Where are you from, my dude? Like, where's he from?
I knew where he's from. In a very awesome country.
Are you trying to say other countries are not awesome?
But this one is like, you know, shout out to this country, man. If somebody says I'm from this country, I'm like, oh hey, that's a dope ass country.
What's this country known for?
It's known for being awesome. What do you mean? It's like a very awesome country. You're like, holy crap.
I just googled that he's from Belgium.
Belgium, yes.
Yeah. So you like Belgium?
Belgian, dude. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That's like the awesome country to you. You know what? Yeah, all right. I'm not gonna argue.
Yes.
I'm not gonna argue.
What are you trying to say? Belgium is not awesome.
Hey! Don't kill me! Don't kill me! Hands up!
I think it just needed racism. We gotta get back to the cast. So the film stars Tom Hardy, James Gandolfini, R.I.P. and
R.I.P.
Naomi Rapace.
That's impressed.
Yes. Fantastic film. Fun fact: remember from Varsity?
Bruh, come on. Okay, yeah. I remember.
He's the one who recommended this film to me back when we were doing film class.
Damn.
I was like,
that's ages ago.
Yeah.
And that's when you watched it.
Yes.
And you said nothing.
Hey man, you were watching Mr. Robot and Breaking Bad there. I was like, oh, this guy fucking thinks he's smarter than me now. Go. Okay, go ahead.
Everybody was watching Mr. Robot.
I was not. I tried watching Mr. Robot, made me feel like I was dumb, so I didn't want to sleep with tears in my eyes after every episode. What the hell are you doing?
So you're like, nah, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing this no more.
Bro, you know how much I love that show and I don't understand it? We talked about it last week. I don't like shit that I don't understand. I am not gonna watch it.
Watch it. Here's the thing. Like, fun fact with the Mr. Robot series, I watched the first episode probably like 4 times. Not like the first 2 episodes. I would watch it. Like, okay, this is cool. I like where it's going, but I'm like, Then I'd watch it like again, maybe like a month later. Watch the first 2 episodes. I think only after the 4th time, like I was getting it, but I wanted to like really understand it. And I was like, all right, cool, let's go. Now we're cooking with grease, kids. We're cooking with grease.
Bro, what I watched it twice. The first season,
Yeah.
I think I've made it to not to episode 6 twice, and I was like, who are these people? I'm not even
What do you
kidding.
mean,
The
who are
only
these
thing I understood was when, I think it's episode 1 where he's like telling that guy that I know what you did. You know that episode?
Yeah.
And he's there in a restaurant, and I'm thinking, okay, it's gonna be Elliot like finding people's secrets and then exposing them and like being the good guy, like a vigilante.
Yeah.
Now there's this guy. I don't know if it's his master or his dad or his pimp. Now there's that lady. I don't know, man.
You just call him his pimp?
There's that lady. Does he like the guy? Does he hate the guy? He works at this company and he's trying to. There's a group of people that I'm like, what is happening here? And I'm like, no. I watched Bob's Burgers and I'm like, okay, they gotta find out if the meat is expired or not. I'm like, that's simple. I'm with that.
Okay, I can get down with this.
Bro.
Oh, okay. Mr. Robot is nice, man. I like Mr. Robot.
I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
But
like back to the drop.
We have to talk about the drop. So, a little description from IMDb says Bob Saginowski finds himself at the center of a robbery gone awry and entwined in an investigation that digs deeply into the neighborhood's past, where friends, families, and foes all work together to make a living, no matter the cost.
I like that description. It actually doesn't give away too much.
Yes, it doesn't give away too much. It also doesn't.
IMDb.
It doesn't. Not in a bad way, but it doesn't. It holds back a lot of information. Doesn't give the mood of the film because it's a very intense movie.
It is.
But it is in a subtle way.
I was about to say like it's intense, but like it doesn't scream. You don't open it up and it screams I am intense. This is like darkness. No, it's very intense in a very subtle way.
Very, very well paced as well.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite things about the film.
But we gotta shout out, bro. We gotta shout out Tom and James.
I was about to say.
Also, yeah.
The man, bruh, Tom Hardy's performances, they are always so nuanced.
Very.
I mean, it's a simple bartender guy who obviously is in the life of crime, but his performance is so like in every situation you know how he feels and you know what he's thinking without him saying so much.
Yeah, but also you say it's in the life of crime, obviously. But I feel like when I first watched it, I wouldn't say that was obvious. I'd say he knows about it. He's the life is around him, but I didn't think that he was like part of it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, just a bartender. He knows this happens, and he's living around this life. But like, bro, the subtlety in this man's performance.
Oh, it's so good.
But like, cause the reveal. When he revealed at the end, I was like, oh. So this you, my dude?
Bro.
You do him like that?
The stuff he does with his eyes.
Bruh, subtlety. And you're like, wait, what?
Cause you could see that he's a simple man, but there's a level of danger that this man carries. It's almost like, I don't know if it was like he's trying to suppress or he's trying to hide, but you could tell, yes, he's like a simple dude. He doesn't know how to take care of dogs and he's trying to live his life. But you can tell that
something's up here.
Like
man either has a past or had to deal with something's up.
Bruh.
But like, just to give like slightly more extended version of like what this film's about, we've got Tom's character, so Bob, right? Very simple name. I love Bob.
Bob,
And then we've got cousin Marv, right?
yes.
So just a brief description. Cousin Marv used to own this bar that Bob worked at, and then these mafia people, what are they? Russian? Oh no, they Chechenians,
Yes.
Chechenians. So these Chechenians, something happened. They ended up owning this bar. They own like a bunch of bars in the city, and because obviously that's not their main income, they like do all of like illegal shit. They use these bars to sort of clean the money like every cycle. So it's never the same bar. You only find out when it's your bar when it's like that time, and then they'll just drop money at that bar, and then they'll pick it up at some point. Hence the name, the drop, right? Yeah. So one of the bars, cousin Marv's, he still has a name. It used to be his bar, but now obviously it's owned by these Chechens. And at some point there's a robbery. The Chechens like, yo, we want our money back, and shit just goes sideways from there, bro.
And I love how, because I had seen the film, so about it. It's been a long time. So when I was watching it, I was like, what? It's almost like cousin Marv's character, because we know James from The Sopranos.
The Sopranos.
Yes,
I know James from The
Listen,
Sopranos.
I am there as well.
I know James. Watch it first.
Count me in.
Bitch. Fine.
First of all, The Sopranos is way too big for a nigga not to know that he was there. I've seen clips. Clips count, right?
Clips? You know what? Fine.
Matter.
Fine.
And to see him in a... It's almost like I expected him to be the big shot, but he genuinely
yes.
Like he
You
genuinely
see it. You're like, okay, because you see the trailer, you see his picture on the poster, you're like, okay, he's the big shot here. But I was like, interesting. Very interesting way they played it.
Also, not in a bad way, but James acting, specifically in this film, shares similar methods with Robert De Niro. Not to say like, oh, because they're cold-played gangsters, but there were moments where he reminded me of De Niro. I was like, oh, is that because they are playing like Italian Boston mafias, or it's just Brooklyn accent, whatever the case may be? But it's in a good way. It's like, oh yeah. Now it's almost like they're both terrific actors.
Yeah.
So it's like seeing a thing from this guy, like, oh, this reminds me of this guy. But yeah, it was pretty awesome.
No, I agree. I think it's also like, because of how he played it, we can immediately place him. Like, we know, okay, cool, he's been in a life of crime before. He knows, like, he didn't have to tell us. But because of like he's playing that sort of like De Niro, not like he's not playing a De Niro character, but he's playing, one would say that his character and De Niro's character would be in the same universe type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think I've seen a movie about a washed up gangster. Because he used to be a big shot, he says in the film. But then now, usually we see someone come up the ranks and become the big shot. We've never seen you've never seen the aftermath of, basically, because he lost to the Chechenians.
Yeah.
I've never seen a film where the quote-unquote mafia or gangster has lost and now he's living a normal life, which is very interesting take.
That was actually very interesting, because we also get to see, like, is he accepting his life? Is he, like, conforming to his new world? Like, how what's his day-to-day like? And I think that's a very interesting reveal.
Yeah.
Also, we can't be sexist.
Yeah.
We gotta shout out Nadia's character.
Oh yes, I mean we were getting there.
Oof. Nah, I also like the intricacies of how she played her role, bro.
Yes.
Nothing in this film was over the top.
Exactly. She wasn't the over the top helpless lady. Yeah, I know. She obviously she was scared because of the guy, but she also was like a confident lady.
Yeah.
And she approached that role with a lot of confidence and almost like stability, but also a little bit of you could see how fragile she was, but she was not overly fragile like the ditzy Mary Sue Help Me.
Yeah, so similar to cousin Marv playing the ex the mob semi, I want to say semi mob boss. No, what do I call him? Ex crime
Yes.
ex crime boss. Well, not necessarily a crime boss, but like ex big shot who's now learning to live this new life.
Yes.
How do you say her actual name? The Nadia's character.
Naomi. Oh, it's not Naomi. How do you say this name? Oh my god. Every
Numi?
time.
I'm gonna call her Nadia. Please forgive me.
Yes.
Similar with Nadia's character, she's playing a character that is on the second, like on she didn't like start off as a young girl, get hurt, and now we're seeing how she then lives after that. We started off with meeting her post traumatic experience. Like she's gone through the traumatic experience already, and now it's like her new life and how she's living post that point.
You know what? Now that you mention it, it is a common theme in the film.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently her name is pronounced Numi Rapaz.
Numi Rapaz. Okay.
That's a very nice way to pronounce it. Anyway, it's oh, she's Swedish. Speaking of Swedish, speaking of Numi Rapaz, okay. we must watch Lamb at some point.
Lamb.
Oh, it's a beautiful film, my guy. It's so good. It's so good. I'm surprised not a lot of people watched it. I feel like
I'm gonna add it to the list. I'm gonna add it to the list.
I feel like you would enjoy it. It's a very slow drama. Like,
yeah,
but
I
it's
love
classified as horror.
dramas.
But to me, it was just like well, maybe drama with a bit of thriller. But it's it's classified as horror.
Hey, you know me, man. I love me some slow drama.
It's very slow, but for a reason. It holds you and then it gets there. Anyway, I was saying, when you said that it was after her trauma, it's a common theme in this film of characters who've suffered and now they're trying to move to deal with the suffering that they've experienced in their life. As you're saying, are they accepting it? Are they regretting it? Are they hiding it? And if we look at the three characters, we have cousin Marv, who hates his current life and almost like feels indebted and wants to almost like take back his throne.
Yeah.
We have Bob, who's completely closed that chapter in his life and is trying to move on. And then we have Nadia, right?
Yeah.
Nadia, who's almost like still affected right now, but very, what's the word? What's what I'm looking for? Defensive, yes.
Very defensive. Very closed off. Yeah.
And it's very common. And then you have this guy who claimed that he killed the kid, but he lied as well.
Oh, Eric. Yeah.
Yes. Shout out to that actor as well. Very great performance.
Yeah. No, great performance. I think Eric D's character, that dude played the role. I think also with Bob, Tom Hardy's character, I like how in the beginning they give us this theme, right? In the beginning where he's in church, he's in a mass, like a Catholic church, I think.
Yeah.
And they're doing communion. Everybody goes up except for him. And you can see in his face, like, okay, bro, what's up?
I think he gets up and sits down.
Yeah, he gets up and then sits down and he makes eye contact with this one dude.
Yeah.
And then we meet that. Yeah, it turns out that's like the Detective Torres, I think is his name. Yeah. That we meet later. Great actor as well.
Yes.
Great actor.
I
think this whole cast did a very good. Yeah, he does. This cast did a very good job. But so we see Tom, like, and apparently he's never done communion because the detective tells us like he sees him there every time, and he's never done communion. And I think it also goes back to one of the lines that Bob's character says. Something he's like, there are some sins that you commit that you can't come back from. You know, no matter how hard you try, you just can't. It's like the devil's waiting for your body to quit. And I was like, whoa, what has this man done?
And the church is a great way of, Great filmmaking, show don't tell, because he gets
Bruh.
up, and if you, it's also like if you are well versed in, or if you know about Christianity enough to know that people who don't take communion, it's either they're like, oh, I don't feel worthy to go up there,
Mm,
or the church is like, no, 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 certain people shouldn't come here. So immediately you're like, oh, why is he going up there? Has he done something bad? That's the first thought. But
yeah.
they plant that very subtly in your brain. You're like, oh, okay. What has he? What? Why? What has he
Mm.
done?
And also, you can also tell because of how he acts. It's like whatever it is, he can't forgive himself for that.
Yes.
And I think
Yes.
it's also why I love the detective character, because I think he notices that and he sees his eyes, and that's why he was so interested. Because like I mentioned earlier, there's like a robbery, so the cop, and luckily that detective is the one that's on the case. He's asking questions about that, but at the same time asking questions about something else that happened before. And then
Yeah.
he brings up the church quite a lot. And I'm like, is he trying to psychoanalyze him?
Yeah. He's trying to get to him.
Yeah.
He's trying to get
And
to him. Like,
Bob gives nothing.
bruh. And he's like,
That
cause he's like, oh, you never go to communion. He's like, that's my business, not yours. And it just ends there. And he's also like, because he believes in that mantra, he doesn't mingle in everyone's business.
yeah.
Because he sees the scars on Nadia's and is like, okay.
I
Then
see
Nadia's
that.
like,
Cool, cool.
you're the first person who doesn't bring it up in the first 5 seconds. And he's like, it's your business, not mine.
Yeah.
So because he has a lot of baggage, he doesn't bother people with their baggage or their business.
Which is I think is really cool.
Yes, it's a very cool character. What do you call it? Personality.
Yeah, character
Character
trait,
attribute.
personality.
Yeah.
Yeah. But bro, I think the way this film was constructed and the characters and how the director just like like in the writing, how they just like wove into these themes and they just made it part of the film and made it like it all connect because it's not like these themes stick out like they just in your face. It's just subtly there.
Yes.
It's just subtly there.
Also, you notice how I like how small the movie is.
Very
It's
yeah
very
yeah.
intimate. Like, obviously, the crime is happening across the country, obviously, the nation or the world. And
And there's like
sometimes,
multiple bars,
yeah, yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Sometimes a film would try to make it on a bigger scale and have over the top, maybe action or over the top crime sequences. But
Mm.
no, we just focus on the small bar and Bob. But you can feel the implication of the Chechnyan's mobster that, oh, this is this is this is huge, and the investigation of the cops means that this is serious.
Yeah, and the fact even the cop, some of the other one, the lady cop and her partner was like, "Yeah, I'm not touching that case," and then that's like also gives us an indication like, oh, they
Yeah,
know who runs that bar and they don't want to be involved with these guys.
imagine.
It's a very subtle thing, but it's like it has a lot of impact because even the cops don't have that much screen time, but they used very well.
Yes.
But bro, I think the one scene, when that first like when those guys are outside, talking about okay, we're getting ready for the robbery,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they're the one guy's like, bro, are we sure we're doing this? The other guy's like, nah, I've got a trusted source, blah blah blah. So they're brothers. They go in and they're like, we have to like start off small to see if we can do it, and then we'll hit like the big ones. And they go in. I mean, the robbery goes their way, fair play. My man sees Bob. He sees like a watch. He sees how it's like stopped, and he takes note of that, right? And then when the cops come to like interrogate, he tells them about that. And then for me, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a normal thing to do because at that point it's like still early on in the film. Like that's a
Yeah,
normal
yeah.
thing to do. And then he's like, I don't know why. And then he's talking to cousin Marv, and he keeps saying, I don't know why I told him that. And then I'm thinking to myself, wait, what do you mean you don't know
What do you
why you
mean that
told him
was
that?
that's
Because
how you
that's
talk
you
to the
supposed to,
police?
yeah, you're supposed to give the police information. But the fact that he was like, I don't know why I told him that, that got me thinking like, wait, but why? What have you done, my dude? So that just so suddenly reinforced there's something about his life that we don't know.
Yeah.
Very subtly. And also when I started getting suspicious of Cousin Marv, like, wait, what do you, huh?
I think also it's this element of Bob that I see throughout the film. He is a guy who's trying to do good because of the bad that he's done. That's why he
Yes.
adopts the dog. That's why we see him like spraying stuff for the pigeons outside. He takes care. He's trying, to take care of Nadia. So he's like I'm trying to do good, but people keep doing bad around me
Yeah.
because of that speech he does after killing that guy. Oh, gave me
Dude,
chills, bro.
that whole scene, I think. That whole scene,
Yes.
because I think at some point he was faced with two options, right? So we've got this guy, crazy guy, Dietz, right? Eric Dietz,
Eric Dix,
who is like he's the one that like beat up this dog as a puppy and put it in Nadia's trash can, like in Nadia's place.
yeah,
And
yeah,
Bob just happened to be walking by there and heard the dog, and in the lady's trash can, goes inside, and the lady's like, "Who are you?" And you start to see how distrusting she is because she wants to like see his ID, takes a picture, sends it to like 3 different people, just in case. She's not taking any chances, bro.
yeah. No.
Uh, and then with Bob, it's like and that's the thing, we get to see the personalities very quickly. She's very guarded, and rightfully so. A woman living alone, strange dude in like her yard in his trash can. But he's very calm. He's like, not lady, just look in my pocket. You see my ID. It's just a
Yeah.
dog. I don't. He's not threatening at all. He perceives as like a very calm dude, and but we see this whole time that there's someone watching. We don't see who it is, but like we know that we eventually find out that it's Eric Dietz, that he's the one that put the dog there.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
with Bob like fixing heating the dog and eventually adopting the dog, um, we get to see like a lot. Like he's starting to care about like something else, and the way he puts a lot of, because like he kept saying that I don't know how to take care of dogs. Like I've never had a dog or anything like that, but I think he's also very intentional. Even though he doesn't know, he wants to find out. He wants to do good.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it's also like maybe a wanting retribution type of thing.
He's searching for the light, but at the
Mm.
same time I think as you said, he doesn't believe that he deserves it, but he does it anyway because it's
Yeah, because
it reminds me of this thing, what do you call it? Unity in writing, they call it unity of opposites. It can exist between characters, but also within a person where he wants to do this other thing, but also the opposite thing because that's human nature. We're
yeah,
not singular beings like that. So he's searching for retribution, even though deep down he doesn't believe that he'll get it.
hmm
But because obviously, because of film, a character must do something and want to achieve something at the same time. We get to learn that, well, at the end of the day, he's never gonna get it. At least that's what he
yeah,
believes.
that's what he believes. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think they show it very subtly with these things, and as we move on, we start to see it more because I think he didn't think he was. I don't want to say qualified. I want to say deserving enough to raise a dog or to take in a dog
Yeah.
because of how he viewed himself.
Because even cousin Marv is like, it's not
It's
your
a
cousin.
dog.
It's not your cousin in a wheelchair. It's just a dog. It's like, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
dog.
and he actually speaking of that, I like how they do their cuts because they don't cut to like the beginning of a conversation and we hear that whole conversation. Like the pacing here is it's very interesting in the fact that we'll cut to it's like, oh, you bring up that dog again, and like they
Yes.
just continue the conversation and they
Yes.
just continue so naturally and in a way that even we know that they've had this conversation before or this conversation has happened before, but we don't feel left out.
Or we also don't get to, what do you say? Uh, they always show us the interesting bits, which
Yes.
makes the pacing on point. We're not lingering on some unnecessary story details for the sake of character exposition or something like that.
Yeah, no unnecessary dialogue.
No.
That's what I like. The dialogue is not like random bits of like exposition. It's
There's
like what's
also
important.
there's also moments, especially after a confrontation, where I love those moments where Bob will be lit with a red light to show that there's something boiling inside of him. It happens in the bar,
Yeah.
and also it happens when Eric Deeds, when he goes to Eric Deeds' house, he's lit with red. It's so good.
I think the way they just use everything in this film, man, I think it just comes together very nicely. But what I was asking myself for a while is like, okay, Cousin Marv, it's your bar, we know, sure, but it's not, you don't own it anymore. Okay, we're getting that story, and I'm like, once you find out that he's the one that's been orchestrating this robbery and wants to do a bigger piece, I'm asking myself, bro, I keep hearing that these people are dangerous. Why are you going down this road?
Exactly. Now I was
That's
also
what I'm asking myself.
Cousin, you know them.
Yeah.
But it also goes back to like his character.
Yeah.
He wants this, so it's almost like he believes that he deserves it, even though he knows that he's gonna get fucked at some point.
Like it's a risk, and he's willing to take that risk. And when we find out that his dad is like in like a machine, like life support, I think that scene was actually very nice as well. So he's living with his sister, and the sister's like, we're behind on like the bills and everything.
Yeah. And then he's like, it's life, and the sister's like, that's not life, that's electricity.
It's electricity. I was like,
damn, bro.
She said that.
Yeah. So what about the screens and the beeping thing?
And I think what I liked about that scene is that even though it's not like he just wants to be a gangster for the sake of being a gangster. Yes, his pride is in it. Like he's got the pride, like he wants that, but also there's like another reason behind that as well.
Yeah, because it would have been very stereotypical and boring to be like, oh, I'm a gangster because I want to be a gangster. It was a nice touch by the filmmakers to have that element of humanity that his pops is in hospital, and he actually cares, because it's like I put his hand on my cheek and I felt his blood. I'm like, oh, so he cares. It's not just for the sake of being evil, like, yay, I run this bitch. Like, no, he also, I think the sister says that they must like travel, and at first he's reluctant. Yeah. But at some point we hear that maybe he that's a perfect opportunity for him to leave.
Yeah.
So he also wants to get the hell out of here.
Bro.
But the way he does it, not very good.
Not very good. Dude, I think, remember the scene where after the first, like, the robbery, they get away, and then the cops are coming and they do the questioning. Detective Tourist questions Bob, talks about like the watch. All of that happens, right?
Yeah.
And then the Chechens arrives. Chechens. Gotta learn how to say that word. You need to count how many times I say this wrong.
I watched Barry, so it was easy for me to say Chechens.
I need to work on that. But they arrive, and then the guy was like, they talk about, obviously the money's gone. So he's like, so what have you guys done about it? And Cousin Marv was like, we'll put the word out. And then Bob also responds, yeah, we put the word out. And then we just see how it's like they don't have a lot of exchange. And it's like, oh, you put the word out.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. The word is out. And he goes back to the henchman and is like, the word is out.
Well, the word is out. I'm like, it's very subtle, but like it's also, you can see how, I want to say menacing.
Yes.
It's a very serious scene. It's like they are not messing. Even though the way they're talking is very relaxed, it's like, yeah, say one wrong thing. I dare you. I dare you, motherfucker. Say one wrong thing right now.
It's almost like they don't want to seem scared, and the Chechenians they don't want to seem intimidating. But they're like, you guys know we can fuck you up, right? And they're like, we are scared, but we're not gonna show it. So it's almost like, I think it's beautifully written. Because again, if the Chechens would have come through and be like, you guys don't bring back my money, I'll fuck you up. I mean, yeah, they showed the guy with the thing. They had to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing with the car. They had to do that. But the dialogue was very. Sometimes it's good to go against expectation when the scene is intense, but the dialogue seems playful.
The dialogue is very playful, very calm, but like the scene was intense.
Because it's like, okay.
Like intense. And I like how it starts. It starts off with like, because Bob is shuffling, and then cousin Marv is just there, they talking, and then the van arrives, and they get off, and it's like, Chofka, the one that the head of this crew, is like, cousin Marv, are you on welfare or something? And I'm like, wait, what? What do you mean? He's like, well, you're just gonna let Bob do all the work, and you're just gonna watch?
No, I was shuffling over there.
I also like how Bob defends him. Like, yeah, I don't know, he was shuffling. Yeah, he shuffled.
Yeah. But it's also like it shows the power dynamics.
Yeah.
Between the Chechens and Bob and cousin Marv, because they are like, yeah, we work for you guys, but we're trying to be friendly. But the Chechens are like, you guys work for us, but we cool, but respect.
Yeah. Also, there's like a hierarchy between Bob and cousin Marv, but from the Chechen's point of view, they're the same. It's like we don't see either of you better than the other one. Whereas cousin Marv, because his name is on the bar, he used to own it. He sees himself as, in a way, the bigger boss between the two in that dynamic.
He doesn't wanna seem beneath them.
Yeah, but also Bob doesn't care.
Bob,
he really doesn't care.
What I realized with Bob is that he's most of the time he's not scared. I would say annoyed.
Yeah.
I don't think he has been scared, because even remember when the guy came to his place to talk about the dog. Yes.
Yeah.
Man was just like, what do you want? And
Bro,
Eric Deeds was like,
this man is in your house,
bruh, and was trying to be intimidating, and he's like, he closes the doors gently. He looks him in the eye. He's like, no, it's not your dog. It's my dog. He's not scared at all. I think that's one of my favorite things about Tom Hardy's performance here. How would I say this, bruh? He's confident, but he's trying to put everyone at ease.
Yeah. And I think I found that very uncomfortable.
Yes.
Because I'm like, why are you so calm? Like, why?
And it's one of the things that makes the performance come alive, because it's like, at the back of our minds, we're like, there has to be a reason why this guy is not easily faced.
Yeah.
We're constantly wondering, bro, this man
I think that was also intentional, though. I think that was intentional, for us to be constantly wondering throughout the whole film.
Yes, very intentional. Even when he finds the hand in the bag, cousin Marv doesn't want to look. And
I love that scene.
You have to see what's in here. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the scene. But do you think cousin Marv knows that Bobby killed the kid 10 years ago?
Part of me doesn't think he knows.
But also, no, he does know. Why? Because in the third act, when Eric Deeds is there, cousin Marv says, "You don't want to fuck with that guy. Just get out of there." He might.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Yeah. He said something along those lines that he might seem cool, but you don't want to fuck with that guy. So I think he knows, but they don't talk about it.
They don't talk. Yeah, they don't talk. They never talk about it. And I think that's a very their relationship is very cool. I like the dialogue in this film is very interesting, because even the scene that with the hand, it's like it starts off with like they just watching the what garbage people just left, and the trashes are like down. It's like basically put in like a weird place, and then cousin Marv makes a comment like, "Can they just like put it back normally, huh?" And then they just
Bob is like, "We should get a trash can." It's so casual, bro.
Very, very casual. And the thing is, that casualness Bob continues that same casualness to when he sees the bag tied on the fence, opens it up, and then in that same casual tone, he's like, Marv, I think you should have a look at this.
He's like, I don't want to look in that bag, pal.
No, you should look at this bag. And Marv's like, I don't want to look at that fucking bag.
And Bob's like, what are you gonna do? Well, seems like they want it back. Man, it's so casual wrapping the arm.
Bruh.
That's the kind of visual communication that the director uses as that what we're talking about. Where he's like, wow. Cause Marv is like, bro, you rapping that like you've done that before. And it's like, wait, I mean, Bob has done this before. Don't you know that he has done this? But it's like, it's not even about the fact that he's done it before. It's that he's dealt with something like this before.
Yeah, and he's unfazed by it. Because he's rapping it calmly.
Bruh.
Very calmly.
He's not disgusted by anything. He's just like, okay, I'm just gonna get this over with.
Yeah.
I honestly thought, you know what it is? Bob. No. The dynamics between Bob and Marv. Obviously, Marv was like, yeah, running shit, and Bob was like, okay, he's just a kid working here. Bob is, I think he also has that element of, hey man, I'm just a kid. I don't want any trouble.
Yeah, he gives off I don't want any trouble.
Yeah, I'm just doing what I have to do, and there's no reason to complain about it because it has to be done.
And I don't think most people like they want like to improve their life or to like get a better lifestyle. I think he's happy with where he is. I don't think he wants not that he's I don't want to say happy with where he is. He's content.
Yes.
And it's like, this is my life. I don't need anything better. I don't need to be the guy. I don't need to be a big shot. This is my life. And remember, there was this argument towards the third act where there was about to be the Super Bowl, like the biggest tip night for like bars, and he's having this conversation with Cousin Marv because Cousin Marv is like sick. He says he's sick. He's like, I'm not coming in.
Yeah.
And Cousin Marv snaps at him at some point. He's like something along the lines of, "You've never been a big shot. I used to be something, you know." Even in that conversation, Bob didn't really seem fazed by that.
No.
He was in a way.
He says.
Yeah.
He disagrees with him.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, you didn't. And it's like, whoa, the balls in this man to disagree with Cousin Marv.
Yeah, because Cousin Marv was like, because this one lady that he sits at this one chair and is like, that used to be my chair. Nobody sat at that chair. I used to be something I was respected and people knew that was my chair and nobody sat at that chair. And you made that lady sit at that chair. And that chair used to mean something. And then Bob was like, that's the thing. It didn't. It's just a chair. So calmly.
Bruh. So calm.
I was like, damn. I mean, I know they're cousins, but like, damn.
There's a movie that had a character like that. I can't remember. There's a movie that I can't remember what it is, but it's like a hero. Like the main character was reluctant. Was it a thing I read? I can't remember. But also one of my favorite scenes was when they're chilling, Bob and Nadia chilling, having dinner, and Nadia grabs the porcelain angel and is like, this one is broken. Should I fix it? Mm-hmm. And Bob is like, do you want to fix it? So there's that. It's so obviously it's subtext, but Bob is like, there's no point in fixing it.
Yeah.
And Nadia,
he doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, Nadia's like, think, I think there's still a chance. And Bob
Bob didn't even think it could be fixed.
Yes. Bob was like, well, I disagree, but if you want to fix it, be my guest. I'm not gonna argue with that. It's like he's okay with being broken.
That's the thing. He's like, it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
Bro, like look at this shot over here. And I'm just going through some of the shots. If you look at his face, there's a bit of worry. Not even like it's. Doesn't it give you like? Remember the memes of sad Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
It gives that.
He's done. Man is done.
Yeah, it's like, but it's also like in the same way with Keanu Reeves, like, okay, that's kind of like John Wick type of thing. Like, there's a bit of danger in him.
Yeah.
With him, especially with the lighting, it's like he's accepted this life that he's living, but also there's something there. We just don't know what, but there's something there.
Yes.
And the thing is, if you just give him and judge the book by its cover without all these subtext that we're getting from the film, you just think he's just like a bartender dude that you can just walk across.
Yes. And he wants to give people that impression because it's better than giving the dangerous impression.
Actually, no, I don't think he wants to give people that impression. I just think he doesn't care to make them think otherwise.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like I don't need to convince you that I'm this person or that person. This is, if you think of me as this person, that's fine.
Oh yeah. And if you fuck with me, you'll deal with consequences. It's not me. You did this to yourself.
Yeah, because I'm also looking at, where's this other shot? Like, look at this. When he went to visit him, it's like he's not, because he's like more shorter, obviously, and this Eric D's character, he's trying to be imposing, trying to be menacing, but then Bob is like, okay, he's not backing down, but he's also not countering his like energy. He's just meeting him.
Something Eric did says here was like, people like me, I don't know, take advantage of people like you. And Bob is like, you have no idea. I'm not people like me, pal. The person you think I am, not even close. That's why he's like, oh my god, this guy thinks this guy thinks okay. I tried. I feel like that's how he feels there. He's like, okay, he's trying to do good, but at the same time, he doesn't want to be pushed.
Yeah,
because when he pokes him with the finger, he almost looks nervous and held back.
Yeah,
he was like, listen, man, you. Then Eric interjects, and then he's like, okay, because when you speak, Bob will listen to you.
He will
listen to you, and he'll like, okay, I hear you. Now I understand how you think. So
Bob is a very, very interesting and subtle character, man. But also Cousin Marv, man. I like how a lot of the stuff earlier, like, because he wants to be this big shot and he speaks like a big game, right? Yeah. You could easily get off the vibe that obviously, like, he's washed now. He's not the same that he used to be. He gave up. The Chechens beat him, and is all talk and no action, like bark or no bite. Yeah. But when he goes to meet one of those guys he hired in the beginning to go do the initial robbery, and the guy doesn't want to get in the car, and it's like, the last time I saw my brother alive was when he got into a car with some random person. And then Cousin Marv's like, do you want to check the boot to see if it's like, very casually? And the guy's like, nah, okay, fine. They have this conversation, and he's like, there's one more job. And the dude is like, nah, I'm out. I'm not doing one more job. And like, the whole conversation goes like normally, and Cousin Marv's like, okay, cool. Then it's fine. If you don't want to do it, I'm cool with that. But could you do me this one solid? I'm going to do it, but I need a place to lay low. Like, maybe can I come and sleep over at your place at some point? Even in that conversation, he keeps putting in like, oh, you didn't close the boot properly. Like, and it's like, no, I did. But then he said it so casually that it's no longer like, he disarms him essentially. He's like, okay, we're gonna stop at this place, and you just go and close the boot. And he goes to close the boot, and I'm thinking in my head, oh yeah, just close the boot, it's fine. And he's like, no, you gotta go behind it and use both hands. Bro goes behind, man, puts the car on reverse, bam. I'm like, oh, okay. Runs him over like twice. He makes sure. Bro makes sure, like, tires over body and everything. And I'm like, oh, okay, so he is serious.
My question in that scene was, whose car was that? Because he parks the car and gets out and gets into his BMW. Yeah. So I was like, whose car is that?
Apparently, man still has connections.
Clearly.
Yeah, because that's the thing. We don't see him, because we see him get into his car later.
Yeah.
So he just took. I mean, that's what I'm thinking to myself. Did he plan on killing the dude, or did he just want nobody to tie it back to him in the beginning?
Doesn't matter. I mean, he's a smart man. He must have planned it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines in that in that sequence was because he said he's gonna lay low at this place. He asked him if he has cable in his house, and the dude was like, "What? Like, do you have cable?"
Okay.
It's such a throwaway thing.
It's also very like it disarms you. Like you can't like be threatened or be on guard if someone's talking about like cable. Like, bro,
Bruh.
what?
Because the
Are
guy
you
is
ki-
also like, "Fuck you talking about cable for right now?" Dude was like, I mean, well, I don't want to be bored, but I'm coming over your place.
Oh, bro, I think that was very cool. I think the way they did it, man. Like those that scene, and also I think in some way or another, Bob knew. I like remember when the scene we talked about earlier where he goes to confront him about not coming to work. At the
Yeah.
end, he's like, "What do you say again?" Uh,
It's like, are you doing something dumb or something you can't get?
it's like, are you gonna do something that we won't be able to clean up this time?
Yeah.
And I was like,
I don't think it's
ah,
time for you to leave. And Bob was like, oh my god.
bro.
So,
And I'm like,
but I love I mean, the climax of the film. It's such a, it's such a, it's not over the top. I mean, nothing in the film is over the top. But even the
yeah,
climax is just, it's played out it's very intense, but it's not like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. The conversations are like very chilled. Bob's like,
very very chilled. Even when Bob sees Nadia, at first it's like, why is she here?
yeah,
But then it's also like, we see the worry in his face, but he tries to like play it off, but he keeps like checking. And again, like you mentioned, not intense, not over the top, nothing. And bro, this dude he tries to intimidate. Because I think we remember he wanted like 10,000, and he's
yeah,
like, I'm gonna come to your place and I've got 10,000. And at the beginning, he's like, he didn't want to, but he's like, okay, fine. For the dog, he gets like 10,000. He waits in his place, and in the shot that I have right now, he's just sitting there with the money, looking at the money, waiting for him, and he doesn't arrive. He takes the money and he goes with it to the bar with the dog,
yeah.
and he puts the money down, and then we see him putting a gun there, and I'm like, oh wait, whoa, interesting.
Because
So
it looks like a gun is just almost like, what do you call it, a precaution.
a precaution,
You
yeah.
don't think, okay, he's gonna shoot him in the face.
No, because he had the money and without the gun in like this scene, I thought the gun was for like I remember he's like, are you planning on doing something stupid that we can't clean up this time? I thought the gun was a precaution for that.
Oh,
Yeah, but it turns out it's one and the same. Because then when that happens, everybody leaves. It's 2 a.m. And then I love how it's played out, because it's like what 3 minutes until 2 a.m. and he knows that because Kevin Marv told the dude that the he told Eric Dietz that the safe will unlock at 2 a.m. and it's got a bit of time to then unlock it and then get the money out and so on and so forth. And he's like, there's 3 minutes until 2 a.m. and that's what I want. I don't want the 10,000 anymore. And then he's like, well, it's like he goes into like story time, and he's very calm.
bruh.
He's
Because
very
he's
calm.
trying to tell this man, you don't want to do this.
Yeah, like you don't want this life, and because throughout this whole film, right, especially with the detective, I love how he plays this out, because everybody knows that there's a guy named Richie Whelan or something like that died.
Yes.
And I didn't actually notice it until the end, because like the film begins with like these guys taking a shot to commemorate like the 10-year anniversary of their friend that died. So Richie Whelan is their friend that died,
Yeah, yeah,
and Bob gives them shots on the house as a
yes.
celebration to commemorate like this guy that died. And then Cousin Marv was like, you gave them another shot on the house, didn't you? And Bob was like, yeah, I mean, like their friend died. It's the anniversary, and cousin Marv was like, yeah, that's the end of that, and like also not giving this one lady free drinks and from now on. And at the first, I was like, oh, he's just doing like a nice thing because he's like, hey, their friend died, they're celebrating the anniversary of their friend died. But turns out there's a deeper meaning to that. That's why,
Yeah.
because now like, and the cop keeps bringing up like, even though he's supposed to be investigating the robbery, he keeps bringing up, hey, you know, remember Richie Whelan? Apparently, the last place he was seen before he died was at your bar, and he was like, yeah, a lot of people come to the bar. But like Eric Dietz, this crazy dude, he's the one that took responsibility for killing the guy. So everyone is like, yeah, Eric killed the guy, Eric killed the guy. And he's like, he goes around with like his street cred, like, yeah, I killed the guy.
Don't fuck with
Which
me.
is
Yeah.
don't fuck with me, yeah. So now at this end when he's doing this monologue and he's telling him the story, and he's like, um, you know what he's like, he tells him about how there's this guy that owed cousin Marv money, and he ended up winning some money and then paid cousin Marv back. But like cousin Marv didn't want everybody to know that he'd paid him back or settled the score because it worked in his favor that way.
That
And
someone
then
knows him. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like, well, you want to know what I did? And then he just tells him that he shot him, and what did he do to his body?
He put it in that thing.
And like the thing in his house, yeah. What the hell is that thing called again?
Oh, it's in the bar. Cause he sits next to it after the encounter with Eric Deeds. And it's like the filmmakers are planting this shot. What is this, a heater?
I don't know what that is, man. I think it's in his house because remember he doesn't want the dog in the beginning. He doesn't want the dog to go downstairs, but the end
Oh
he
yeah,
goes
this is
downstairs
his
with the dog.
house. I thought it was the bar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's his house.
What's that thing? It's like a boiler or something like that. I think they call it a boiler. So, like he's like, um, Eric Deeds still continues like, no, I killed Richie Whelan, all right. And then Bob's like, sure you did. And then
Yeah,
bam,
sure.
shoots him. Sure you did.
I love the delivery of the line. Sure you did.
Like, sure you did. And very calm too. And then Gunn shoots him in the neck. And but the thing is, the girl, like, no, Nadia's right there and she's in shock. But Bob is calm. Shoots him,
Bro.
takes a gun, walks to the other side, finishes the job. Bam. And it's like, you would have done it again. He would have never stopped. You see, with people like this, like they just never stop. And you see the way that both these characters are handling it. Like you think that Bob is like off the chain, high on adrenaline, but he's just rationalizing it.
Yes.
And Nadia's scared.
I love Numi Rapace's performance. She says nothing. The only line she says is that, yeah, but you just shot him in the face.
You just shot.
But the shock in her eyes while Bob is delivering the speech.
Perfect.
Bruh, she's there like,
Perfect.
did he really just shoot this guy in the
Did
face?
he just do it?
And she's terrified.
Yeah.
And to Bob, he's not worried about. What was it? He's not worried about how he looks in front of her. He's like, I am getting rid of this dirt from the earth, so you are safe now. And Nadia's like,
yeah.
"What do you mean I'm safe? You have a gun." In Bob's mind is like, you don't need to worry. I've gotten rid of the Batman, and Nadia is questioning, "Oh, are you the Batman as well?" When she leaves, then she's like, "I'm not gonna talk." And Bob's like, "What do you mean? Yeah, I know. We're not gonna talk."
Yeah. And Bob is like, he's not even worried about that.
Not at all.
Damn. You know what? You know what's funny about that speech? At some point, I remember Bob was like, "You embarrass me."
Yes.
I was like, "What?"
He doesn't want to be associated with those kind of guys.
Yeah, because it's like you hurt like harmless dogs that can't defend themselves. I'm tired of you, man. You embarrass me, and I'm like, wait, wow, okay.
Bob is he's just irritated by this guy.
Yeah.
But it's a because after that, when the Chechnyans come to kill cousin Marv, I was sad because he saw the guy and he was like, ah, shit.
You saw the mirror and it's like he just gave up.
Yeah.
He was like, ah.
Guess that's my time.
Yep. Bro, wait. I mean, I want to find like the dialogue. Let me find the dialogue, like at the end. Because I like how they build tension with just that. Because I like, you know how time is very good at building tension, and Eric Dietz like keeps counting the minutes down.
Yeah.
And Bob is calmly just continuing with the story.
He's like, man.
Ooh. Here it is. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. It's quite a long thing. But at some point he's explaining the loan shark thing, and then Eric Dietz is like, it's 7:57, man. And then he just continues the story, continuing with the story how he owed like 22 grand, and Eric Dietz is like, so what? He never paid it back, and you guys roughed him up because he's thinking that's what happened. And then Bob's like, nah, that's not what happened. He paid Marv back every single cent. He was a good guy. So apparently he's like he was a good guy. And then Eric Dietz goes back and is like, hey, it's 158, all right? And then Bob pays no mind, continues the story. And he's like, just continuing the story about how he wanted nobody to find out that they paid Marv back. And then he's like, he's like, Eric is like, yeah, the kid had to be ripped off. And then Bob's like, no, the kid had to be killed. It's like the kid had to be. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, so nobody would know that he paid Marv off. So that's what we did. And Eric is like, so you, and then Bob's like, yeah, killed him, bro. And then this part is like, this is what I like. He goes on this part where he's like, he explains how he did it. It's like, I shot him in the face twice. Then I wrapped his head in a towel and stabbed him in the heart so he wouldn't bleed out. I'm like, bruh. Then put him in a bathtub, watch him drain. Then I put him in an oil tank with laundry detergent and and sealed it back up. And I'm like, that's very violent and detailed, my dude.
Bruh. Just explaining it nonchalantly.
Nonchalant to be found in this explanation. And then he's like, do you want to know what his name was? And then Eric Dietz like, it's 2. Bob, it's 2. And then Bob's like, his name. So now they're going back. And then he's like, I would not know Bob. It's like, yes, you do.
Yes, you
this
do.
Is something that you know. And he's like, I wouldn't know Bob. It's like, Bob was like, yes. And then Eric's like, yeah. It's like, yeah. And then Eric goes back, I know it's 2. You got to open the safe. And Bob is like, listen to me. His name was Richie Whelan. Everybody called him Glory Days. And then Eric goes back, I killed Richie Williams, right? And then he's like, sure you did. And that's when he pulls it. I was like, bruh.
Sure you did.
This man, I think the way he just delivered that and the calmness, bro. Man, that was like a legit. And then there's the way the Chechnyans, because at first I was wondering to myself, okay, how are you gonna clean this up? Are you gonna do it the same way? Because now you have to open the thing. Like, bruh, how's this gonna happen? And then because they came to rob the bar and the bar belonged to the Chechnyans, obviously the previous thing was for like his cousin. Now it's like, hey, it's not my bar anymore. So it made sense that he called them.
Yeah. Because now it's an interesting twist because now the Chechnyans are not the bad guys.
Yeah.
They were introduced obviously as like the intimidating villains, but now they are. What do you call this? They're here to save. Basically,
in a
imagine
way, yeah.
having a villain
From the situation.
Imagine having a villain who saves the day.
Right? Because we don't want Bob to be arrested, but we love Bob.
No, we love Bob. We don't want
We
to
root for Bob. So now these guys are the ones that are coming to save our day, which is very interesting when you think about it morally, actually.
Yeah, cause Bob's whole thing is like he's alone, and the Chechnyan is like, you're not alone, Bob.
You're not alone, Bob. No. The Chechnyan were like, at first, like, was the guy working alone? He's like, yeah, he was alone. There was nobody, because I think Bob is still like a very good dude. He's protecting the girl,
Yes.
but but also I think in his head, Bob knows, like he knows cousin Marv is involved,
Yes. He
and
smelled that very quickly.
very quickly. So he's trying to not like do anything that will give him, uh, put him like give Marv away because he's trying. At this point, he doesn't know that they know or trying to take him out. But unfortunately for him, the tension is no.
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah, no, he was alone, and then the tension was like, no, he wasn't alone, and it's like, and then the tension was like, but Bob, you're alone. Say it. And then when Bob was like, I'm alone, it's like, no, 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 you're not alone, my friend. Because now it's like they basically in a way saying you've got us.
Yeah.
And I think it's also like because Bob went to that length to protect their money.
When someone else they trusted was trying to take their money
Yeah.
at the same time.
At the same time.
So now it's
So
like,
I think that would like,
right,
yeah, we got one right here. And like, yeah, we can change the name of the bar. You know, let's call it Bob's Bar. It's got a nice ring to it. Huh?
got it right. Yeah, it's like, bruh, that's what you're gonna talk about right now,
Dude. And I think, what did they say? He just casually mentioned killing Uncle Marv. I think these guys, they have these conversations about like these big things, and they just have it so casually.
And Bob, as always, does not seem phased at all. I mean, he is, but he doesn't show it
At all. Because I'm trying to think what, like, I don't remember the exact conversation, but it's something along the lines of, cousin Marv and his drug dealer friends, something like that. I forgot the exact time. But then that's when he's like, oh crap, they know. They know. And then I knew that, okay, cousin Marv was about to get a couple bullets to the head.
Oh, because there's also a moment where cousin Marv calls and Bob picks up and no one says anything.
Nobody says
that was beautiful. Oh my god.
Because the tension there.
Filmmaking right there. Because it was just like, oh, okay. Oh, it was you. Oh, okay. And cousin Marv is like, fuck.
Yeah.
Bob is like, fuck. But Bob is like, I can't believe you, dude.
Yeah, I can't. Like, why?
Yeah.
Like no words were exchanged, but there was a conversation there.
Yes.
Which is like
full-on conversation.
Damn, that's filmmaking,
bruh.
That
beautiful acting from the team
right there.
You could see the intensity in their eyes, but also
in the eyes, dude. Body language, the eyes. Beautiful.
But one of my favorite shots is towards the end when Bob is in the car garage.
What's he doing there?
The last speech, the speech about sinning and the devil, bro. When he says, sometimes you're not gonna go to hell. You're just gonna go there, and God is gonna be like, nah. Ooh, bro.
Oof.
Nah. Imagine God saying,
nah.
You're not going to hell, just not here. And it's like, yo,
like,
you've done too much, my guy, and I there's nothing I can do with you. So just go away and be alone forever. That's another. Not even another. That's a theme, maybe. In the film of like.
But the thing is, like,
because cousin Marv has his sister. The dog. I think that's another thing when the dog is alone and Bob doesn't want the dog to be alone.
Yeah.
So he takes it in. Nadia is also alone, obviously single and everything, but he makes acquaintance with Bob. And there's a whole element of, are you gonna end up alone? And towards the end, we actually see that Bob doesn't want to be alone. For the first time he like tries. It's like
he actually he makes a choice.
Like at the bar, you didn't tell me to go away, but you can say it right now. I just want to hear you just say it. If you say it, I'm gonna go away and you'll never see me again. That's so heartbreaking, bruh. When you're like, just tell me you don't want me. You know those moments where you're like, I want to hear you say it. It's almost like a
but
self-fulfilling prophecy where
it
he
is.
believes that he has to be alone, but then he doesn't. But then she doesn't say, I want you to go away. And
Yeah,
then
that goes back to the two. Funny enough, it goes back to the two killings that in the film that we know about, because in the obviously he's got this shame and like guilt and like he feels like he can't obviously go to heaven because of killing the kid. What's his face again?
glory days.
uh, Glory Days. We'll just call him Glory Days. That's what they call them,
It's a
right?
weird ass name.
Very. And it's like because when he talks about it, it's like he was a good kid. So I think he feels that that's a sin of like killing a good kid for no reason, right? Type of thing.
Yeah.
But then and there's a point in the middle where he's like he tells Nadia that I used to have a crew back in the day, and then Nadia's like, do you still? He's like, no, 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 no. I'm not in there no more. I just tend the bar.
Yeah.
But then this time, when he shoots Eric, I feel like that killing is like a totally different thing because now there was not just because it was a robbery, but in a way it was saving Nadia. Like in a
Yes.
way, that death had a meaning to it, and I think that might have also played into his psychology, which led him to actually make the stand at the end to go back to Nadia and be like, "You didn't say I shouldn't come back, and I want you to say it." I think it's very,
Exactly.
very good how they use that same act. You
Yeah.
you killed someone, but one people had two different meanings.
And I love how the the oh my god, it's so beautiful. When Nadia goes in the house, we see her walking, and then we cut to Bob looking, anticipating. We see the empty hallway, but then we linger on Bob's face.
Wheeling on Bob,
It's like,
yeah,
oh my god, is she gonna come back? Is she gonna come back? And then we hear footsteps, and then he smiles, and
nice.
then fade to black.
Fade to
Oh,
black,
beautiful.
dude. I love that shot because I was kind of like because she took a while. She
Yeah.
took a while because we saw the emptiness at first, and then we just looked at Bob and like I'm with Bob like is she gonna come back?
Bruh, was that an
I was like,
excuse to go to the house?
maybe because I'm thinking maybe she didn't want to say it to his face, type of thing,
Yeah.
and now just left not knowing. And then the footsteps, and then the smile, and I was like, ah, oh, yes,
Also, this is just me. I
yes,
also love how there was no stereotypical romance between them. Like you know how
yeah,
sometimes movies would end with a kiss or whatever the case may be, or like them like having sex at some point. It was just like no. We see the build up of the relationship and then we end it.
yeah,
And then we're like, okay, it ended. It was a good ending because
yeah.
they ended up together.
This
Sometimes
may
it's
be
good to leave things to the audience's mind and imagination.
yeah. This may be controversial. This may be controversial. But I'll say it. I'll say it. Sometimes you don't need to see kissing. You don't.
You know?
We don't need people to kiss to know that there's some romantic interest between them.
Yes, like I feel like kissing is a cop out
Yeah.
and
No, not even just kissing. They didn't. There was no hand holding. There was no hugging. None of that.
no hint of any sexual relation, none whatsoever.
There was no sexual. Like this film, I think is what R-rated,
Yes.
but it's not R-rated because there's no nudity here.
They could have easily slid in because of the R rating. They could have
They could
easily
have
done
easily
that.
popped in a titty, but
Yeah.
nah,
It's like,
none of
nah.
that.
We're just gonna everything is implied and it lands.
It
Because sometimes
does.
you can imply something and it doesn't land.
Yeah, but like I think the way because the way we were introduced to Bob's character and how Bob thinks, and then also the way we're introduced to Nadia's character and how defensive she is, it just works perfectly. And the way they leave
Yes.
things, because we like thinking to ourselves, oh maybe this is what she's thinking, and thinking, oh maybe this is what Bob is thinking, and they leave it up to us to fill in the blanks. They don't show us any of that, and I think that's
Yeah.
perfect. I think that's perfect.
I think that here it worked beautifully.
Yeah.
Especially with the closing shots where oh yeah, that's why oh my god. That's why we got a lot of close up and eye shots of Bob. Because it was working for the that's one of the reasons. Obviously there's many reasons, identification and he's the main character. But
yeah.
if we hadn't seen his eyes that much, the ending wouldn't have been as powerful.
Yeah, because we got to know his facial reactions. We got to know how he thinks, or like what he's thinking, depending on the different facial reaction he has. So we actually got to know Bob through his body language.
Yes.
So that final one is like, oh, hell yeah.
Also, the dog. Also, wanted her to come back. You see, the dog was holding on the fence, and I was like, "Oh, come on,
oh, come on,
Nadia, you gotta come back. Look at the dog.
Come back for the dog."
Beautiful.
Man, definitely using the dog as a cheat code. Hey, yo, we need to wrap up. Bro, give me your final thoughts. Give me like a sentence, final thoughts on The Drop.
I'm gonna say captivating with the great acting.
I'm gonna say that's a good one actually. I'm gonna say subtle but intense.
Okay, I'm gonna take that.
Yeah.
It's a very good film.
Yeah. Nah, great film. Tom Hardy did what Tom Hardy does, killed it. Now we gotta leave. We gotta get back to our regular lives. But before we do, what do we have? What do we have next week?
Next week, we have a very interesting horror film from North Korea. It's called
North Korea.
Yes.
North?
South Korea.
I was about to say. Like the
Do
North?
they make movies there? I'm sorry.
Hey, I don't know this guy. I don't know this guy.
What did I do? What did I do there? Because I'm like, are you? Because your voice was like, are you sure it's from South Korea?
Bro, when you said North Korea, I was like,
The good Korea.
Okay. Don't say that. They're coming for us after that.
Hey man, I don't know. Wait a minute. Where's this movie from? I'm on North Korea. And North Korea
Is it not even North Korea? I mean, or like
South Korea.
Okay.
Yeah, it's South Korea. Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. That's
Okay.
what we'll be watching. It's a very interesting. You know what? I love the movie, but I want to hear your genuine take on it as a non-horror lover.
Okay.
That's why.
Gotta read subtitles. I'm ready for this. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
And it's gonna be very interesting.
I just you know what? It's fine. Let me not look it up any further. I want to be surprised.
Yeah, you want to have a genuine experience.
Gonjiam Asylum. That's an interesting name. Am I gonna die?
Well, we'll find out next week.
All right. I'm ready.
All right, man. If there's nothing else, then we shall see the people. Well, the people will see us next time. Well, they will hear next time.
Yes.
Next time.
Yes. Next time.
The summary is next time.
Next time. All right, peace, people.
All right.
All right.